Let's see what that does. I want to see if my freaking thing pops up. Hi, I think this is live. Where is my chat window? Hey, there's my chat window. Nice, so I can see your chat. That is freaking awesome. Cool, so this is a little bit early because I'm testing audio stuff and such as well. I do actually want to put on some music for myself. So let me go to YouTube, grab some music for myself. Which one will we take? Eeny, meeny, miny. This one's fine. We'll just drop the volume and quality on it. Yeah, that's way too loud. Not at all. There you go. Yeah, that should be fine. Now let's find the Facebook Live tab again. Here we go. This is the Facebook Live tab. Awesome. So now I just need to wait for people to join while dropping my audio volume a little bit because that's a bit too loud. There you go. Now I should be able to hear. Cool. Good evening, everybody. Hope you guys are doing quite well. This evening we'll be covering a very interesting topic. We'll be talking about money, because you know what? Money is cool, and we all like to make money or think we can make money with the things we do, and we all need a little bit of help charging correctly and charging properly for the products that we aim to deliver to our clients. So for this evening, we'll be seeing if we can maybe get you guys a little bit more information specifically in regards to how you can improve your money that you make in your photography, as well as just give you some general tips and advice working with different types of clients, different classes of clients, and we will also be creating a invoice. So I can show you how I would create an invoice for one of my clients. So let's jump straight into it. The very first thing we need to talk about is how you would see value between different types of clients. Now the reason I say value between different types of clients is because you get different clients. You get high-end clients, you get your mid-range clients, and you get your very cheapy clients who always seem to complain about everything for some reason, which is very annoying. My door's open. I need to go close that. Let me go close my door and then we can carry on. Give me a sec. There we go. Now nobody can bother me while I'm busy. Yeah, put that back on. Nope, this way. There you go. Audio levels. Check. Yes, still very good. Cool. So let's talk about the biggest difference between these different clients. Your cheap clients, they don't expect much of your photography because they're just paying to have you there so they can tell their friends, hi, I've got a photographer, blah blah blah. They normally complain the most and they're always the biggest pain to work with. Your next client type, what you get, is your mid-tier clients. Now these are the ones that, yeah, they know they need a photographer, but they're still a little bit stingy to spend. Good clients to work for, nice consistent clients to work for. Now your high-end clients, these are the ones that they don't care what you charge, you just show up, send them the invoice, and they will pay it. So for most of the people that are viewing, I suspect that you guys will be working with the lower end of clients. Now keep in mind, these clients don't really think too much about photography and they don't really expect much in their photography, which means, yeah, they're good, but you still need to charge properly. So let's talk about that when we have a look at how we can add value to these clients and how you can make money from these clients, because it's very important. So let's say you've got a commercial client, a low-end commercial client, medium-end, and a high-end commercial client. We'll also talk about portrait clients as well, because a lot of you do portraits. So on your commercial clients, what do they look for? They look for how you, with your camera, can add value to their businesses. So that doesn't mean you just take your camera and take a picture of a burger and call it money, because that's not how that works. You need to style the things. Yes, you can take your camera, take pictures of a bottle of vodka for a low-end client, and they will not care about how anything looks, and you can charge them money for that, which is cool. You can also take that same bottle, style it, and now aim for medium-tier clients. Your high-end commercial clients, they pay the most. Don't bother aiming for those just yet. But let's go between the difference between your low-end and your medium-end commercial clients. So, as an example, a low-end commercial client is happy if you take a photo of this bottle with your phone, and they will pay anywhere between $200 to $700 for a shoot. That's not a lot of money at all, especially when you're starting to look into your commercial photography things. Now your mid-range clients, these are the ones that will easily spend a few thousand with you. Now they expect you to take this bottle, place it in a scene, light it properly, and give them a good result. So that's the one you always want to aim for. You want to aim for that middle one, because you will make a lot of money quite easy, quite fast in that specific regards. Now on the opposite side, let's go to your portrait clients. Your low-end portrait clients are always the ones that like to complain the most. They always like to go, hey, can you fix my face and make me look like, you know, thinner? Yeah, they like to do that. No, we can't. We're not plastic surgeons. We take photos. But when you do your charging and invoicing for these specific clients, it's very important that you get everything on writing. Because if you don't have it on writing, you can't charge for it. Especially if you don't have it on writing, the biggest thing they'll do is when you are done with your photos, they'll say, oh no, but I want this, oh no, but I want that, and this and this and this and this, and they'll waste a lot of your time, because low-end clients are the highest maintenance. Now your low-end clients portrait sessions, I've seen people charge $100 for a portrait session, all the way up to 2,000 plus per portrait session, easily on your low to mid-range clients. Your mid-range clients for portraits are really nice to work with, because they take it a little bit more seriously. They will hire you at least a few weeks beforehand, and they will do makeup, they will do hair, they'll normally dress for the occasion, and they always want locations. And that's a very important thing, because your locations is how you make money. If you know a good location, you can take people there, you can put them in the location, you can make money. Your high-end portrait clients, they expect you to bring all the things to the freaking session. They want you to bring the makeup, the hair, all that stuff. So you get all these different types of clients. So the first thing when it comes to charging for your photography is, which one of these clients do you want to aim for? So if you're happy with aiming for the lower end of your clients, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. If you want to aim for your high-end clients, that's also fine. Just remember, your skill needs to justify what you're charging. So as an example, you can't take a snapshot, go to a high-end client and try to book that high-end client, because they'll tell you to basically F off, because that's not what they want. You need to look at your skills, look at the client you want to work with, and then decide, do I need to upgrade my skills so that I can reach the new type of client? Or if you're happy with the current clients you have, how do you reach more of them? That's where marketing comes in hand, because marketing will help you reach all of these different clients. Now, as an example, if you are happy charging $300 for a portrait session, and you're happy working with the lower end clients, there's nothing wrong with it. Just remember that you need to do more shoots per month to basically take your photography business to the next step. Because remember, your gear costs money, traveling to a location costs money, marketing costs money. Don't think you don't need to market, because you do need to market. If you take the best, most shiniest, most awesomest portrait on the entire planet, it doesn't help you anything if you can't market the damn thing to the client you want to market it to. So something that I always advise you to do is, before you even decide how much you want to charge for your photography, decide which type of client you want to work for. What is your ideal client? Is your ideal client running around people at an event, doing a wedding, doing a portrait session for a couple of thousand? What type of client do you want to work for? So let's take me as an example. I do portraits. I do the portrait thing of people because people pay money. So I aim for the high-end clients. So what this means is I need to go do market research. What are the high-end clients in my area like? What is the skill is my work is for high-end clients? Hey, welcome my dude. Let me answer the question. But what if the skills of my work is for high-end clients and you don't find one, and the cheap clients want to rip you off? Oh dude, this is going to be so much fun. There are high-end clients everywhere. You can find them. It just takes a little bit more market research. You need to find out what they like, what they want, where they hang out. Because remember, if you book a high-end client, you want to meet with them before they book you, meaning that, let's say high-end clients in my area all go to Mug & Bean. So I would say, hi dear client, thank you for contacting me in regards to your photo session. Please meet me at Mug & Bean tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. and I will treat you to a coffee and we can discuss your shoot and your requirements, and we can work out a quotation from there. It's very important to remember that your high-end clients expect you to give them better service compared to your low-end clients. Now, depending on the area that you're in, let's see which area you are in, my friend. You are in, let's quickly open up your Facebook profile, pull it over to this screen. You're in Gauteng. Holy hell, my dude. Gauteng has the highest paying clients in freaking South Africa. You can find them everywhere. I can see your work looks good. I'm gonna swap over to my other screen so I can show your work and give you some specific advice. So let's jump this button. There you go. Hey, that jumped over. So this is your work. Hey, you got featured in camera stuff. Nice. But why aren't you posting? You need to post a little bit more, and you need to remove this pinned one so you can just get your things sorted out a bit more. Let's have a look at your work. Looks fine, but your background is a bit gone. It's a nice creative shoot session as well. Nice behind the scenes. Behind the scenes is always important. Let's go through your stuff. Yeah, you should be able to do high-end clients easily. I don't movies and stuff distract people from the things. Let's keep going down, down, down. Nice little matric session there as well. Not bad at all. Nice little studio session as well. Yeah, you should be able to do high-end client work, especially with brands and things as such, but you need to get this work in front of the correct client. So as an example, this high-end work means absolutely nothing if you can't get this work in front of the proper client who will actually book you and pay the high rate of money for this type of session. Because remember, high-end clients, they don't sit around and wait for you to come to them. You need to go to them and offer them and show them what you have. That's very important to remember, because remember, even if you create awesome high-end work like you do currently, it doesn't mean anything if you're not marketing properly. The correct marketing will help you reach these types of clients. So your work, yes, you should be able to do high-end work easily, but I think the big thing with your specific page on Facebook as well, let me scroll all the way up, is you need to do marketing. You need to work on your boosting posts. You need to join groups where high-end clients hang out. You need to figure out where your high-end client in your area spends time, and that's where you spend money to market your work, so that they can see your work, they can see the value that you can add to them, and that will become your point of connection with these high-end clients. Yes, you can get those high-end clients. Anybody can get them. Your work is on the level where it should be easy to get them. But you need to take the time. You need to research your local area. I'll talk about that in a second. Research your clients. Research where they hang out. Research places they frequent. Research places they spend time on Facebook or Instagram or wherever. Once you find out where they spend the time, you need to focus your marketing in that direction so that your photos can reach the eyes of the people that would pay you $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 a session. Because remember, it doesn't matter if you have awesome photos like this one. It doesn't matter if you have awesome photos like this one. If your high-end client doesn't see them, they're not going to book you because they don't know about you. So I would strongly advise that you look at your marketing, because your work is decent. It's really good. It's nothing wrong with your work at all. You should be able to book really good clients and really awesome sessions. But I think you might be lacking on your marketing side of things, which is something a lot of photographers do, is they do lag behind when it comes to their specific marketing needs and things like such, because they kind of forget about that. They always rely on word of mouth marketing and, hey, I'll post it, somebody will see it, maybe they'll book me. No. That's not the way we like to do things. We need to go to the places our clients hang out. We need to make sure they can see our work. We need to make sure that when they see our work, it's easier for them to get in contact with us, book us, and get stuff sorted. So keep that in mind, my dude. The only reason you're getting cheap clients might be because your marketing isn't in the correct place. That's very important to remember. Yes, cheap clients will rip you off, but we'll cover that a bit later on in the live session as well, where I'll talk specifically in regards to setting up contracts and give you an example of a contract and all that type of things as well. But you should definitely take some time, invest in your photography, invest in your own business, and look at marketing properly and doing marketing research where your ideal client would sit. So let's backtrack to what I was busy saying, which I cannot remember. It happens. Anyway, so let's say your clients or your ideal client will be a high-end portrait client. So your high-end portrait clients will always want you to deliver high-end results. So high-end results might be a bit difficult to see and or work with. As an example, take your work, compare it to other people in your area, and see how your work stacks up to them. Don't listen to people that say your work is awesome online, because those are friends, family, and people that just like a nice lady standing in front of a camera. Seek out people that can actually give you proper feedback and proper advice on your work to help you grow, because it doesn't help you get 1,000 people that say awesome work on your photo, but you're not able to find a single client. Because remember, someone that gives you praise online, they might not be your client, which is fine, because not everybody will be your client. You will get clients and you will lose clients. It's the same thing. Remember, the only person that is your client is the one that has paid their deposit. Nobody else is your client. Don't think that somebody that's asking you for a quotation is your client. That's not your client. That's just a potential client. There's a big difference between the two. Also, it is very important to remember, when you do structure your invoices, you can do things a little bit special, but I'll show you that when we actually do an invoice together, and I'll show you how to do all types of things. So let's continue using portraits as our value that we want to give to clients. What do clients want in their portraits? What goals do they want? Well, we've got a couple of cool things which we can look at when we look at goal oriented or making your photography align with their goals. So let's say you've got a family of 5 people. You've got family coming down from Cape Town to Johannesburg. Specifically, we're going to use Johannesburg because our dude here asked, and he's from Johannesburg. So let's say they've got a family member coming down from Cape Town to Johannesburg. They're there for a weekend. What value can your photography add to them? Well, you can capture the moments. That's what we all say. I can capture the moments. Okay, that's awesome. Show me. Do you have a portfolio that you can show these clients where you can help them achieve their goals? Yes or no? So as an example, if you use Facebook for your portfolio, that's fine. Keep your photography page only photography related. As an example, if I am a client and I come to your Facebook page and I scroll down the first 5 or 6 posts and I see random posts about you can win a car or blah blah blah, all of that type of stuff, that will annoy me, and I will go to another page and look for a different photographer. Remember, your portfolio or your presence on social media is your portfolio. Make sure your portfolio clearly shows only your best work, so that when you do market to your clients and they find you, that they can go and say and look at your portfolio and say, yes, this is an awesome photographer, yes, I want to work with this photographer. Keep that in mind, because once they see what you can deliver to them, that helps you maybe align with the goals that they might have. So as an example, yes, your photos are awesome, what more do you offer? Because any second photographer can give an awesome portrait. It's not that special. It might feel special because you're getting a lot of praise online, but it's not that special. You need to give them better service. So how do you give them better service? Well, when you shoot, do they smile a lot? Do you joke around? Do you communicate a lot? Yes or no? If you say no, work on it. You need to be able to provide your clients with awesome experiences when they work with you. That means, yes, you will deliver them awesome photos. That's fine, we can all do that. But how do you work with your client? How do you communicate with your client? How do you understand what the client wants from your session with them? If you have no idea, you just communicate with the client, give them prices and they book you, that's not enough communication, because you need to know what type of photos do they want? Where do they want to use the photos? Are they going to print photos? Do they need high resolution photos? What is it that they want? Then you need to tailor your experience for that client around what they want. If a client just wants a few headshots for using for their online profile or something, don't take them to the freaking botanical gardens. Take them to the proper location where you have a nice background to work with and you can get a nice solid background which allows you to capture nice portraits. Have a coffee for them. Do that little bit extra and it will reward you moving forward when you start to advertise and things such, because then people can start leaving reviews on your Facebook and social media going, this is an awesome photographer. Not only did this photographer give me awesome photos and the results, the experience was amazing. So keep that in mind, because when you start to work with these clients, you need to communicate properly with them so you can understand what goals they want, what specific feeling they want from their session, what they want to use the photos for, all these types of things, because these types of things tie into how much you can charge for your session. Because remember, charging for your session is making sure you charge all the money you can for doing the work they want. Remember, a client has a specific thing that they want. If you can deliver that thing and above, you can charge and add some more on there for profit. We like money, so we need to do that. So let's go on to the next thing. So let's say you've now tailored, or you found a client, you've tailored your experience specifically to that specific client. Well, what's the next thing to do? Well, now you need to be flexible. You need to communicate properly, and you need to build trust with your client. One way to build trust with your client is to show them an awesome portfolio, communicate with them properly and consistently, check up with them every few days. Is the date still correct for you? How are your arrangements going? Blah, blah, blah. All these types of things. You need to communicate properly with them so they know that you understand what they want from your session. So how can that translate into charging money? So let's say you've got a client that wants 3 different looks for a portrait session, and they're going to book you for 4 hours. That's nice. You got 4 hours booked. You now need 3 different looks and styles to work with. You can charge them extra per outfit change. You can charge them extra per location change. So let's say you work at a botanical garden. That's fine for your first look. Your second look will be more of a casual business style look. So now you're going to change locations again to a new location. So that means you can now charge them for the first outfit, first location, second outfit, second location. And all these additional charges can take a booking that is $1,000 and make it $2,000. Because remember, now that you've built their trust, they've seen your work, you communicate properly with them, and you can properly explain to them why you're going to charge them extra for this and this, then they will pay that extra for this and that. Because that's what it comes down to. You need to remember that all these additional services that you offer your clients, you can charge them for it. So let's start building our invoice according to how we would charge it. So let's go down here to my other screen. Let's just move this out of the way, bloop, bloop. So I can get to my other screen. There we go, and swap. There you go, cool. So this is our invoice. So we're going to start building our invoice so we can get a rough estimate of what our client wants and how much we can charge for it. So first thing first, I'm going to add my name to the top of the invoice, because that is me, that is my name, that is who I am. I'm going to add my address. I live at 123 Banana Street, and that is in George, and my number is 123123130. There we go. So submission date of my invoice, that's the date that we create the invoice. That will be today, which is the 2nd, oh wait, no, the 7th. Oh my, damn, I suck it. 7th of the 2nd month, 2024. Invoice for a client name, we're going to call this Dream Client, because we want to make it bucks. Our client works for Santam, because they're really good, and they live in let's say 321 Banana Street. There you go, and they're also here in George, where I am. Payable to myself, which is Andrew Basson. Invoice number 001, because it's the first time they're working with me. Project name, what is a project? It's a portrait session. Portrait session. Due date. So our due date will always be either a week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, or the day of the invoice, or the day of the shoot. So I'm going to say due date. Let's say they want to book us for the 20th. So I'm going to say the due date will be the 19th, because I want full payment before I pick up my camera and go do the work. And I will explain this to my client as well before they book me, that they need to have full payment done before they book, or before I can actually start working for them. So let's say portrait session. We're going to have one portrait session, and we're going to charge them $1,000 for a portrait session, just to start with. Now let's say they want 2 outfits. So we're going to say outfit change. 2 outfits means we're going to change outfit once. We're going to add one on. We're going to say $350 per outfit. We keep it nice and easy. they also wanted to shoot at 3 different locations. So location change, move the mouse down, location change, there we go. And now, because we're changing location 2 times, we're gonna say, cool, we can change location for $200 each time. There you go, cool. So what else can we charge? Well, we can charge AA rates. AA rates will be our traveling fees. So AA rates for my vehicle is, I think it was $4.50, which isn't that much, but let's say location 1 is 15 kilometers away from me. So we need to open up my calculator, because I need to work that out. Move it over here. So location 1 is 15 kilometers away from me. Location 2 is 18 kilometers away from location 1. Location 3 is, let's say, 22 kilometers away again. So that's 55 kilometers total traveling that I will do to all the different locations. And then from the final location back home, it's 11 kilometers. So we're going to go 11 again. So that's 66 kilometers traveling total. We will charge them for this, because we need to charge the money so we can travel to all these different locations, such as changing and all these types of things as well, because driving around costs fuel. We need fuel. So now you can see that we can take a easy portrait session, which is just $1,000 as an example, and we can add on an outfit change, location change, traveling fee. We can even add on food for the day. So let's say lunch. I'm going to say lunch is like $150 because I want to eat lunch and have a coffee. So we'll add that on to them because that's their bill, because they will have me for the session for at least 2, maybe 3 hours. So it's important to remember that we charge them for all these small things, because all these small things add up at the end of the day. And if you leave all of these small things, that's money that you've thrown away. So as an example, now that we've changed location twice and driven to all these locations, that's an extra almost $700 on our invoice, because we've now changed locations to suit the client's needs, which is why I told you it is so important that you properly communicate with the client so that you know what your client needs, what they want, and from there you can say, okay, cool, you want to change outfits, it's going to cost you this much extra. Oh, you want to go to 2 or 3 locations? Yeah, it's fine, we can do that. It's going to cost you this much extra per location plus your additional travel. Oh, we're working through lunch. You know what, I need to go buy lunch when it's lunchtime, so I'm adding lunch on there as well. So all these types of things you can charge. You don't leave that on the table, you charge them for this. So as an example, just by properly communicating with our client from the start, we now know our client wants to change outfits once, $350 extra. Oh, our client wants to go to 2 different locations. That's cool, that's extra $400 right there. I need to drive to all of these locations. Sweet, that's extra $300 right there. I need food for lunch. Nice, extra $150 for that. So there you go. So you can take an easy portrait session for $1,000 and double it by just communicating with your client. Remember, communication is key. You will not know what your client wants and or needs unless you properly communicate with them, find out all the information, and then according to that, build your invoice. Leave everything on the invoice so that when you send them the invoice, they can see it and go, oh, okay, cool, he's charging for this, 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 and this. Then they know what you're charging them for is what you spoke about. Because remember, if you just say portrait session of $1,000, you're losing all the extra money. We don't like to lose money. We want all this extra money to come to us because we're doing all the work. That's why it's important to communicate properly with the client. Find your ideal client, communicate with them, find out what they want, find out what their goal is of the session, and from that build something which will make it awesome for them. You don't need to go way out. You just need to go and cover all their needs and just do a bit of extra work. That's as easy as it gets. So let's swap back to my ugly mug. There you go, back to my ugly mug. So that's just a small little insight for how I would create an invoice and things and such as well. So now let's go to our next session or section. And our next section will be how you would master charging all of these types of business things for your clients. So let's break out the good old Excel again, because you know Excel is nice. Excel allows us to show the numbers. Let's swap back to my PC. There you go. So let's say you now decide that you want to be a full-time photographer. How much money would you need? Hey, there you go. Hey, Mr. JB, dude. Hope you're doing good well. And the time for editing? No. You don't charge them time for editing. Why? You can bulk edit in photo or in Lightroom in like 2 or 3 minutes. So it's not really that much. If you're doing high-end retouching, yes, charge them extra for that. You can, so you must, if they agree to it. If you communicate with the client and say, you know, from the session I'll give you 10 awesome photos and the rest I'll just do a fast edit on, but if you want additional edits on the other ones, I can do that for you for an extra $70 a photo. And let's say they do that. So let's go back to our invoice example. Zoom into it. Hi, invoice example. Let's go down. So let's add on, move it, there you go. So let's add on high-end retouching. So we're going to charge per high-end photo $75. Doesn't sound like much now, does it? But let's now say the client wants 10 additional photos retouched by your editing skills. That's an extra $750 for just doing your normal editing, which means you can take a $1,000 session, you can make it a $3,000 session by properly communicating with your client. Now, how would I handle this myself? So when I'm talking with my client and we're having a coffee, I will tell them that, you know what, I always deliver the next day, so it's very fast turnaround time. So I will do a very awesome retouch of all your photos, but I will spend a lot of time on 5 of your photos to make them look amazing. I will do the most work on those 5 photos. You do have the option to book additional photo editing at a very low rate. So I would say, yeah, sure, I can edit 10 more photos for you, $75 a photo. If you really want them, if you don't want them, you can just take the normal digital files with a fast retouch, which will still look good. That's the important thing. Even my fast retouch photos will still look good, but my high-end photos, I'll do skin retouching, all these weird and funky fun stuff. But I will charge for additional editing as well. But before I charge the client for that, I will properly communicate this with my client before we do the shoot, because I want my client to know that before we do the shoot, before we do the session, before we do anything, that there will be a additional charge for additional editing as well. Because remember, it's important. This is why we communicate with our clients, because we want them to know that, yes, if we do extra work, there will be extra fees, but the extra fees won't break the bank. They will still be relatively low, allowing your clients to go, no, that's not that expensive. I want 10 or 20 extra photos edited. Can you do that for me? And you go, yeah, no, sure, by all means, I can do that for you. Like $75 a photo. Then at the end of the month, the client has some more money available. And they say, okay, cool, now I want like 50 more photos retouched. Boom, extra money again. Keep that in mind as you move forward, that all these additional services, you need to charge for that. Don't leave the money on the table. Charge the bloody money for the thing you do and make the money. That's what makes it so nice. So, hopefully that answers your question, Mr. JB. But yes, if I need to do additional high-end retouching on a photo, I will charge the client the fee for that. If a client wants all of their photos retouched in the entire gallery that I send them, let's say there's 100 plus photos, I will do that. But I will hire a retoucher to do it for me, because I ain't doing that myself. No way in hell. I'm getting somebody to do that for me, and I'm paying the money to do it. I'll still make profit, but I will pay the money to do it, because I like outsourcing stuff. So it saves me time, which is nice. So let's go back to what we were busy with, and let's say you are a photographer that wants to start charging money on a more full inside. Thank you, man. I did it. You're a great teacher. Thanks, Mr. JB. I hope I can help. So let's go back to where I was busy with, where we would say, okay, let's see about going from a part-time photographer to more of a full-time photographer. What are the types of things that you need to keep in consideration when you do this, or when you start to consider this? Well, number one is the cost of running your business. So, cost of busyness. Oh hell, I need to zoom into that. Can I zoom into it? No, I cannot. I hate it. I can just no mouse button. Scroll over. Scroll over. There you go. Cost of doing business, cool. That's one thing we need to keep in mind. We also need to keep in mind, what's our debt? Because remember, debt will be something that can destroy your company very, very, very easily. So we need to calculate first the cost of business. So what types of things are cost of business? Well, that will be, let's say, your insurance, your rent, your water and power, your software costs, and your marketing costs. Marketing, very important, always marketing. Marketing, your traveling costs, and your taxes, which is annoying, but yes, you do need to keep those in mind as well when you want to start moving to more of a permanent thing. Now, why is it important to know what your cost of doing business is? Well, the cost of business will affect the amount that you charge per session. So let's say your insurance per month is $1,500. Let's say your rent per month for your studio or place where you stay is, let's say, $8,200. Let's say your water and power per month works out at an extra $2,000. Your software per month, which is your Adobe subscription, it's like $150, quite cheap, awesome. Your marketing budget per month, let's say you're gonna budget for $1,000 marketing. Your traveling per month, how much traveling do you do per month that's not work related? Let's say I drive around for $1,500 worth of fuel. Taxes we're going to remove for now, because that's once you start actually doing business, that becomes more prevalent. So our total cost to do business for the month will be $14,350. That's a lot of money. So now that we know how much money we need to make per month to just cover our cost of doing business, this will now affect the way we charge. So let's say we can work, how many working days are there in a month? Let's say 20. We only want to work 20 days because that's the amount of time there is in a month to work. I need to zoom this in. Zoom, show, no. Zoom 150. Is it easier to see? That's easier to see. There you go. So let's say we just want to work 20 days. That's fine. So if you want to work 20 days, you need to make, divided by 20, around $700 per day, per working day, to cover your cost of business only. That's without even making profit or eating or doing anything of these types of things as well. Those are additional fees you need to keep in mind as well. So let's say you also want to eat because, well, we like food. So let's move all of these down. Add that on there. So food. So let's say your food per month is $2,000. Well, it's actually way too less. Let's say $3,000 because we like food. So let's adjust this to B9. There you go. So now per day we need to make $850, give or take, so we can survive the month. Let that sink in. That's just to survive the month. That's not to live. That's just to survive, eat, do business. That's not to do anything specific. So how this will affect your things? Well, let's say you want to make 25% profit, because that's a low bit to work with, but 0.25 isn't that much, and we're going to say U times 0.25 plus U. So that's going to work. Yeah, it's going to give or take more or less. So if you want to make 25% profit for the month in a 20 working day month, we need to now make $1,000 a month. Does that sound a lot to you? Does it sound like a little bit of money to you? How does this affect the way that you would charge your clients? Well, that's the way you would do it. So let's reduce our monthly things. Let's say we want to only work 10 days a month. Sure, we can do that, but then we need to make at least $2,200 a day to cover the entire thing, which is a lot of money. Let's say I just want to work, well, let's say I'm going to work weekends as well. So 6 times 2, 12, 24. So that's 24 working days in the month, because now we're working 6 days a week. That's 4 weeks a month. That's 25. So now we just need to make $900 for a day for the 24 days that we will be working for the month. Now, if we invoice our clients properly, where we can actually make this type of money easily per session per client, yes, we can make a good living. But remember, this only comes into effect if you charge per session correctly and things as such. So let's go back to the thing. Go up here where you can see. So how would this affect things? So if I'm booking a client and I just want to do one client a day, I will charge them $900. If I can get 2 clients a day, I can charge them $450 and still break even on my cost of doing business. So you need to decide, is this something that's worth your time doing? You can also decide, if you have a day job, do you continue doing your day job and build up a photography company on the sideline? Yes, that's a really good idea to do. So let's say at your day job you make $10,000. Day job minus 10,000 from our total. There we go. Cool. So now we just need to readjust all these types of things because we're working with a lower budget. 5,000. Water and power almost 200. There we go. Marketing will still be 1,000. We also want to market. Travel, we live closer to work, so we're gonna drop it down a little bit as well. There we go. So if we still have a day job and want to do photography on a sideline, this means that our cost of doing business is now substantially lower than it would have been if we wanted to go full time. If you want to run your business on the sideline, you only need to make like $140 a day per session to be able to make 25% profit and still cover all your expenses and stuff for the month with your day job. That's important. So that's things that you need to keep in mind. That is going full-time good for you? Yes or no? Well, if you go full-time photography, then you're losing your daily income from your day job, which means you need to be 100% sure that you can cover those costs from your business. Because if you can't cover those costs from your business, it ain't gonna be a fun thing for you to do at all, because that's gonna stuff you over completely. So let's take this back to our invoice and see how we can now adjust our invoice to be weekend photographers, aka we're only gonna work 4 days a month. So if we work 4 days a month, that means we need to make per Saturday $860 to cover our cost plus 25%. Sorry, the numbers will get like really weird, but let's take that. If we have a full-time job and just want to make an extra income from it, and we add that to our invoice, so that's 860. So let's go back here. We're going to change our session for a Saturday to 850, still charging all of our additional fun stuff, which still makes us $3,000 for a Saturday if we communicate properly with a client, if we charge them properly for all the additional services we can render them. Which means for 4 days you can make an additional like just over 10k a month just working 4 Saturdays. Let that sink in, that you can do all these really awesome things by communicating properly with your client, noticing what or asking them what their goals and what they want to achieve with this shoot is, and how you can help them achieve these goals. Once you've got all that information and you're able to start invoicing them, they want outfit change, all the type of things, you add that onto your invoice, and suddenly you can start making really nice money on the side. That's important, because remember, before you go full time, as an example, you want to save up a lot of money to cover an entire year's worth of expenses. This is just your buffer and your safety zone, just in case business gets a bit slow or things as such. Then you've got this extra safety net which can help you sort these type of things out. Now, extra things you can charge on your fee. So let's say you charge $850 per session. So your sessions will last, we're not charging per hour, we're charging per session. Keep that in mind. Per hour, I don't really charge per hour myself. I like to charge per session because per session makes more money. It's just a weird thing, nothing's go. So let's say per session, I'm a new photographer. So as a new photographer with basic skills, my per session fee I will now need to drop to accommodate these types of things. So the first thing I would do is I would look at my experience level, the type of deliverables I can give to my clients and things as such, and I would compare that to other photographers in my area. I wouldn't compare prices. I'll just compare what they are delivering to clients and just see where my level currently is. Then from there, I will start to adjust my prices. I'm a new photographer with a day job, so my work will not be the best, but I can cover your event for a small fee. How small will that fee be? Well, now here's the fun thing. Are you willing to go on a Saturday to take photos of a couple for $500? Yes or no? If you say yes, that's cool. Charge $500. If you say no, that's a bit too low, then raise it. If you say, ah, damn, you know, $500, that might be a bit too much for my area, that's fine. Areas are different. Then you drop that price. But remember, you need to find a price that you are willing to, at minimum, pick up your camera and go do work for a client. Are you willing to go do a portrait session of a client for $300? Yes or no? If yes, cool, charge $300. If no, and it's too low, raise the price. If you're still going, you know what, it might be a bit too high for my area, drop it again. Are you willing to go do a portrait session for $150? Yes or no? If yes, cool, do it. If no, raise the price. Just work it out like that, because you need to find a place in your photography business where you are happy to pick up your camera and go do the work. It doesn't matter what that amount is, as long as you know what amount you need to make you happy to go do the work. Because the last thing you want to do is pick up your camera, go do an 8-hour wedding for $500, and then suddenly you hate photography. Because that will happen. People will try to book you for $500 for a full day's wedding. It's just the way things go. But you need to set your minimum you're willing to work for and stick to it. If you decide the minimum amount that you are happy working with is $500, and you need to say to a client, I charge this much, you will add 25% to that total. So instead of charging your clients your minimum fee, which is $500, you will charge them $750. Why? Oh, why would I charge more? Because this allows you now a buffer zone where you can give them a discount and still arrive at above your minimum money that you're willing to work for. So let's say I charge $750 for a session. Client goes, it's a little bit above my price range. You say, okay, no, it's fine. I will give you $200 discount to $550, but that's as low as I can go. Suddenly you're the hero because you're giving them a discount, getting them the photos they want, but you're still above your minimum amount that you are willing to work for, meaning that you will still be happy for the day to go do the photos. They're happy, everybody wins. So you need to find that minimum amount that you are willing to pick up your camera and go do the work for. Everybody's different. In my area, my minimum amount will be, let's say $750. In your area, wherever that might be, it will be different. Each area has different clients. Each area will have a specific amount that the market can bear. You can't go, as an example, from my city to Johannesburg and charge the same amount. People will not book me. Same thing, a Johannesburg photographer can't come to George and charge $5,000 for a session because they'll never get any bookings, because the market cannot handle that amount per session. It's just the way things are. There's no right, there's no wrong. Just always make sure that when you do charge your client, that you stay within the minimum amount that you are happy to do work for. Once you're happy to do the work, everything else becomes easy. Then you just communicate properly, you find out what the goals are of the session, and you improve from there. Now let's say I'm more of a experienced photographer. I know how to use my lights, I've got flashes and all these type of cool things. Will I still charge that minimum amount? No. My minimum amount will still be $500, but instead of adding a 25% buffer, I'll now add a 60% buffer. I will charge the client $900 an hour because I say that I'm more experienced. I know what my minimum amount is that I'm willing to work for. I'm going to add on 60% to that because I'm more experienced. I deserve the extra money. And there you go. Now you can charge $900. Will that still be good enough for your area? I don't know your area. I can't say. But I do know that charging $900 as an experienced photographer who can properly communicate with your clients, you will most likely book them at $900. If they're squeal about the price, you can still drop it by 10%, give them a discount, and still be above your minimum amount you're willing to work for. That's awesome. So let's say I'm a professional photographer. I'm really good at my work. I'm one of the best in my area. How much extra will I charge? 200%. So instead of charging $500 per session, which is my minimum amount, I will now charge $1,500 per session. And I will stick to that price and nobody can get below that because I refuse to drop my price. That's fine. You're a professional, you're in the top tier in your area. That allows you the convenience of charging more and sticking to your prices more frequently because people will see your work, they will understand you're better than the rest, and they will pay it. Simple as that. So, first thing you need to do is sit down, think about it. When you put my phone on silent, money, 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 money. Yes, lots of money. That's a lot of money symbols. Holy hell. Nice. Now let's just mute my phone. I keep forgetting to mute my phone, but yes. So you as a photographer, you need to go have a sit down, put all your gear and stuff one side and just think to yourself, what is the minimum amount that you would be happy to go do a portrait session with? Once you know that minimum amount, you can now start to work from there and start charging more than it to start making money and a profit on the sideline, because remember, we're still keeping our day job. We just want to do this as a sideline first so we can build up savings, and then once we feel comfortable, we're well known in the area, then we'll start to think about going full time. Not at the time being. For the time being, we're still figuring out our prices. So find that minimum amount that makes you happy, and from there on you can take that minimum amount. Hey, no problems, dude. Session will still be going on for a bit because there is quite a bit more to cover. But yes, once you've got to the minimum amount, we can now go back to my screen. There you go, back to my screen, zoom in. So let's say my minimum amount that I'm willing to work for, move this, is $500. That's fine, because that means this is my minimum amount. That still gives me a bit of leeway to get to my cost of doing business. And then we just added onto that, and we now know what we need to charge to successfully start charging clients the money that we would like to get for our sessions. So is $500 correct for my area? No. $500 correct for your area? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know the different areas everybody's in, unfortunately, so it all depends. You'll need to go sit down and just do a little bit of market research. So once you know your minimum rate you're willing to work for, you can then work towards looking at your cost of doing business, compare the two, and see, you know what, you might not be able to make it as a full-time photographer, which is fine. You don't need to be a full-time photographer to make money. You can still be a weekend warrior and still make a good living. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So another thing that a lot of people like to do is they like to go charge per hour or per package or a value-based system or a session-based system. So all these four different ways of charging money for your photography is correct. There's nothing right or wrong with all of them. So let's start with charging per hour for your sessions. Charging per hour is easy, very straightforward. You set your hourly rate and this is the rate you will work for per hour. Clients know it, you stick to it, clients like it. Is that good or bad? It's got good and it's got bad. The bad is that some clients that might have a budget that doesn't align with the time they require you will require a discount. Do you give a discount, yes or no? Depends. Do you want to? Yes or no? Doesn't really mean too much in the great scheme of things. It's all up to you what you want to do. I myself like to charge per session. The reason I like to charge per session is I can say to the client, awesome, you could show up to my local botanical gardens, we'll have a little session, hour, maybe two, and we'll do a couple of photos and we'll see how things go. And then I'll put a minimum cap on my session. I'll say our sessions last per minimum hour and a half, give or take. And then I can add all these extras onto my sessions because I say that cool. So your session is an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. If you want a longer session, the session fee will have to be a little bit higher to cover other additional costs like food, travel, all these types of things. can do the same thing per hour, but it's going to be a little bit difficult to do, or a little bit more difficult to do that, because some clients might see your per hour rate and go, you know what, I don't need you for 5 hours, I need you for 3 hours. Then okay, so you've got 3 hours to do all your things in. Session fees work a little bit easier because now you can charge them per session. They don't need you there for the entire 5 hours, but the session just allows it to be a little bit more flexible. You can also offer packages, something that wedding photographers love to do. So when you're a wedding photographer or you're somebody that charges for packages, that's awesome as well. Now you just need to make sure that your packages are structured correctly. Is contract of agreement necessary? Yes, get into contracts with the packages. So as an example, with your packages, you've got your low-end package, your mid-range package, and your high-end package. Make sure that the value add between the packages actually makes sense. As an example, package 1 gives you 2 hours with me and as many photos as we get. Plus I will retouch them and stuff like that. Package number 2 gives you 3 hours with me, all the photos that you get from a session, but you can change your outfit and you can change location once. Package, the high-end one will give you 4 hours of me, you can change outfits 5 times and all that type of things. So you need to make a difference between your different packages so that you can justify charging extra for them. That's one thing you can do. Now, speaking in regards to contracts and agreements with clients, yes, it is important to have those in mind when you work with clients, because some clients, they will stuff you over. But I do have a template and a sample that I will link for you right now to a sample wedding thingy that I made, personal wedding photography contract example. There we go. Cool. So let me copy this, copy link, and this link will take you to a sample of a wedding contract to give you an idea of how those contracts would look. Now, the nice thing about a contract is that you can take a contract, you can structure it according to the client's needs, and it stays within those bounds for your session. So let's say your client books you for a session and they want you to do 4 different things. Awesome. Your contract says you do those 4 different things. But you also at the same time tell the client that if you should require an additional 2 or 3 things, we can talk about it and I will just have to charge you an additional fee for that. Make sure you communicate this properly with your client, because once you reach your 4 agreed upon things in your contract, that's it. Your session is done. If they want to continue on with the session, you need to have properly explained to them beforehand or in the contract that yes, we can add things more compared to the things we've agreed on, but that will cost you an additional fee. So once you explain all these things to your client, this is why communication is so important. You can start setting up your contract. For contracts, I would recommend going to your nearest legal firm, legal aid or something like that, and just get somebody with legal knowledge to actually help you with your contract and get it done properly for something that you can use. This is important because contracts are legally binding contracts. For your contract to be valid, should you need to sue somebody as an example, or if they want to sue you as an example, your contract needs to be legally binding and correct for that to be something that will work for you. Yes, you can have a contract and you can show it to people, you will get that one lady which will challenge your contract. It will happen. It has happened to everybody that uses contracts. It's just one of those things. But a contract is awesome because you can set aside, what do you want from me? I will add it onto the contract. Client wants a portrait session with 3 location changes and 2 outfit changes. Cool. I will put that in the contract. I will say these are the services we had agreed upon, add it to the contract. Send the contract to the client. Client is happy with the services we agreed on. They sign off and they pay the money. I also add onto the client, to the contract for the client, at the bottom I will add on that work will only be done once payment is done in full. Payment needs to be done in full before or on the day of the session. I also explain this to the client when we talk, when we have our first interview, when I send them the contract. I will explain to them that, remember, you're paying a booking fee to book my time for that day. That time is yours. The booking fee is not refundable because I'm booking the time for you, so I'm saying no to any other client for that specific day. It's not a deposit, it's a booking fee. There's a difference. So for you to get me there to do the work, actually, you need to have paid in full before the session, or I will not be able to assist you for that session. That's very important because I have things that I need to buy for the session. I have expenses I need to go and make for the session, so I need to cover all of those costs with the money from our session. So you need to pay your session in full according to the contract, or I will unfortunately not be able to assist you for that day. Keep that in mind, that it is very important that you explain this to the client very clearly, that you need to travel to locations, you need to do all these types of things. Setting it's a booking fee and not a deposit is vital always. Yes, very, very important. A booking fee is you're booking me for my time. A deposit, according to South African law, you need to give them back if they want it. That's the way it works. Well, it goes into more detail, but definitely go and speak to a legal person when you're working with clients, so they can advise you correctly for the type of market that you want to do and the type of contract that you require. Yes, it's going to cost you a few bucks to get it done, but it is the best money you can invest into your photography company, is getting somebody proper with the correct knowledge to do the contract for you. Very, very important. So on my contract, I will always have, hi, dear client, we agree to all of these types of things. We agree to the payment terms as set aside in the contract. Thank you very much. Here's your contract. Once you sign the contract, I will send you a itemized invoice with everything on it, and you have up until the day of the shoot or on the day of the shoot to fully pay the things, or I cannot drive to your location because I can't put fuel in my car because you need to pay all the money, as an example. It's just one of those things. Or as an example, if it's a wedding client, yes, you need to pay your wedding in full before I do the wedding, because I need to pay my assistant for the day, I need to pay rental gear, I need to pay travel, I need to pay everything out of pocket for that day to make sure everything goes fine. So you need to pay your invoice before the wedding, or I'm not showing up to the wedding. Yes, I have not shown up to weddings where people haven't paid me. It happens. Do you have a sample contract for corporate? Corporate clients, I normally have a contract fee, which I discuss with them, because I have an attorney that does my contracts for me specifically for corporate clients, because my corporate contracts have usage in them and a whole bunch of other things that you need somebody legal to help you with, because they know the correct terminology to use for it as well. So my corporate clients, I always go to a lawyer to do a customized contract for their needs. Yes, it's still a template I paid them to set up for me to use, but it gets customized specifically for their usage needs and all that types of things as well, because from experience I know that your corporate clients, they pay the big bucks. You want to make sure you give them the proper contract beforehand, which clearly states the usage limit, how much it will cost to renew usage, all the types of things as well. Nothing a lot of people need to worry about, because not a lot of people do these types of corporate sessions these days anyway. I think the last one I did was with something odd people, those ones. Yes, but yes, I have a wedding sample thingy. I don't really have a commercial one, because my commercial contracts are always, or my corporate contracts are always very customized, specific to that client's needs. So I'll see if I can make a template for it and add it onto the page later on, or I'll just grab the one that I use and just what firms, attorneys can you recommend? That depends in which city you are. In George, I use Robbenheimer's attorneys, because they're one of the oldest ones and they've got all the knowledge that I require. Plus, because they're the oldest one, they just know what the hell to do. So when selecting an attorney, you always just want to make sure that you go with one that actually knows the type of business that you will be doing. If you're a photographer that needs specific contracts for photography type clients, something as such, you will go to an attorney that has got experience in this, as well as one that has done this before. You're not going to go to one that says, maybe I can do it, let's see what happens. No. You want to go to the one that knows what the hell they're talking about, because remember, a contract that's set up improperly can bite you in the backside every single time if a problem comes up. That's why it's so important to have your contracts correctly and sorted out every single time. That would be super nice. Yes, Mr. JB, I will grab a corporate client template and I will add one on for us. I did one and didn't have the client to sign one. Yeah, an unsigned contract doesn't mean anything. If a client doesn't sign my contract that I give them or pay me the money that I invoice them, I don't show up for the shoot. That's as simple as that. An unsigned contract means you're not my client. An unpaid invoice means you're not my client. I ain't taking the time out of my day to go mess around with your stuff. If you can't pay my fees or sign my contract, sorry. I only work with contracts. And get into the habit of making that something that if somebody refuses to sign a contract, that's a red flag. Because if somebody refuses to sign a contract, that means that they might not have the best intent when working with you. That's important to remember, that you do get people that don't really want to sign a contract. Wedding couples especially, oh hell, the lower end weddings, they love to not sign contracts. They say, no, I'll sign and pay like on the day of the wedding. It doesn't happen. Or they say, you know what, I'll pay you all the money like the day after the wedding. It doesn't happen. It never happens. It's just one of those things. Always insist on your contract. If you do have one, insist that they do sign it, insist that they do pay the things. But this is why communication is so important, because you need to communicate this with your client beforehand so they know what you expect and you know what they expect. And then once you two meet in the middle and you're both parties happy, everything's signed, everything's paid, you go do your shoot. You go make your money. That's a good thing about it. Do you let them sign before payment? Yes. I always let them sign their contract, because the contract is their agreement. Once they've agreed to the terms of the contract, I send them the invoice. That's where I like to do it. Sometimes I send the contract and invoice together, but most times with a lot of the clients that I work, I send them the contract beforehand. They go for the contract. If they have any queries, they can talk to me about it. We can change and amend things as needed. Once they sign the contract, they're happy with the content of the contract, they're happy with the things we've agreed on are all stated clearly and visibly inside the contract, and they signed it and I've signed it, then I send them an invoice. That's what I like to do, it because I like to keep things nice and organized like that. I like to go meeting with client. Cool, I've got the meeting, I know what they want, I add that to the contract, I send them the contract, they sign the contract, I send them the invoice, they pay the invoice, I could do the work. That's the way that I like to keep things going, and I never break away from that unless it's something specific. As an example, a portrait session with one lady outside for $500, I'm not doing a contract. There's no way in hell. A wedding for 40k, I'm doing a bloody contract for that thing. Or an event where I need to go take an event photos at a park or something like that for a company. Yes, I'm doing a contract for that as well, because it's going to pay more money, which justifies me breaking out the contract for it. A lady that's paying $500 for a couple of headshots, I'm not doing a contract for that. It's useless. In my humble experience, which might be wrong, it's just more of a waste of time than anything else to mess around with contracts with your lower end clients as such as well, because most of them, they don't even read the contract or anything as such, which is a bit of a problem. Plus all the legwork needed, all the messing around, all that type of stuff to get them to actually sign the damn thing. Nah dude, I ain't doing that for low end clients, no way in hell. So yes, I always get my clients to sign my contract before I send them an invoice, because as soon as I sign the contract, that means they are happy with the service that I will be delivering, and then I send them the invoice. Sometimes I like to take the invoice with a couple of mug and bean coffees to the offices and go have a coffee while we talk about it, and they make payment immediately. I like when they do that. It's just cool. I don't do it much, but it's nice when that happens. So back to the thing we were talking about in regards to setting up your packages, and that was the last one we did, where we set up your packages. We say you've got your starting package, your medium package, your high-end package. Between these three packages, you always want to make sure that there is enough difference between the different packages to justify charging more. Extra time, that isn't justifying paying more. Extra time plus extra photos, plus extra coffee, plus extra location. All these added things, those allow you to make your packages different and allow you to charge different amounts for all the different things that you do. So keep that in mind. When you do your packages, you want to always make sure that your packages range from cheap, medium, high end. You always want to make sure that there's enough difference between the packages where somebody can look at them and go, you know what, yes, I can spend $1,000 extra for your higher end package because I want that extra thing. And there you go. Just make sure that your upsells on your packages justify charging more for them. Shervin's got an awesome website. His website is, let me quickly find his website. I will link it for you, and you can go check out his website to have or get an idea of how you would properly add value between your different packages to charge different amounts of money. So Shervin has an awesome website, and his website has his packages on them, and you can go through that on your own time and just see how his packages are structured and how these packages differ from high-end, medium to lower-end packages, and just see all the different services he adds onto them and things as such as well, to give you a good idea on how to properly structure your packages. There you go. That is the thingy for Shervin. And Shervin is an awesome dude, and he has an awesome website that has all that information on there and good examples of how you properly do your packages. So once you get a moment and you need to get a good idea or an example of how packages work, go to his website, check out his packages, and see the difference between the packages and how his money changes between all the different value he adds to each one of his packages. This is important to remember because when you work with clients, you always want to say, oh cool, we're going to spend like 4 hours at your wedding, do you want an album with that? The client goes, yeah, you know what, that would be actually cool. You say, well, you know, I can charge you extra for an album, or I can recommend you upgrade to the next package, which has an album included for free, plus some extra time and a bunch of extra cool stuff. And the client will go, you know, that's actually quite good. I'll take your higher end package. So keep that in mind, that when you do your structuring of your packages, you always want to add more value as your packages grow. You don't want to have package 1 is $4,000, package 2 is $6,000, you just get me for an extra hour. That's not value, that's time. Time is valuable. Time is always valuable, but just adding value onto a package, but just time wise, not actually adding any additional services or things as that, I wouldn't do that. It's kind of like, Then the last type of way that you can charge money for your photography is a value-based pricing system. So a value-based pricing system is, as an example, if I go take photos for a restaurant, will these photos add value to your company? Yes or no? If yes, cool. This is my fee for that value that's being added. But if you think the photos that I'm going to be delivering to you might not add that much value, you're just using it for social stuff, then yeah, we'll charge less on the usage and do things like that as well. Value-based pricing is a little bit different compared to most of the other forms of pricing there are, because you can charge more if the thing you're delivering has more value to the client. As an example, if you're shooting a photo of a burger which will be used for advertising, that has a lot of value for the client, so that means you can charge more for it. If you're taking the same photo of a burger at somebody's birthday which doesn't have any commercial value to it, then the value for that photo becomes lower, so you charge lower for it. So value-based charging or pricing, I wouldn't recommend it, especially in South Africa. Overseas, yes, you can make a lot of cool bits of money with it, but hereby, not going to cut the cake, unfortunately, because people here, the value of photography completely different to people overseas. It's just the way the things work. So now we've covered all that cool stuff. Let's go on to the more interesting stuff, how you would secure your income. So this is where contracts, deposits, booking fees, all these type of things come into play, because remember, the only client that is your client is the one that has paid you the money. If a client hasn't paid you the money, they ain't your client. Simple as that. Don't just jump onto Facebook and say, I need to know how much you charge my wedding client for their wedding. That's not your client. That's a potential client, but not your client. Because remember, the only client that is your client is the one that has booked you, that has paid your fee, that has signed your contract. Don't waste your time with anybody else, because it ain't worth it. So, how do you get the people to pay the booking fees and pay all the invoices and things and such as well? Well, this is where communication comes into play. Apologies. You need to properly communicate with a client before they even book of you that you require full payment upfront, or you're not doing anything. You're not even going to show up because it's not worth your time. This is where contracts come in handy, because in your contract you can also state that payment must be done either before or on the day of the session. If it's not done, sorry, I'm taking it as a cancellation. No, sorry, you didn't pay a booking or a deposit, you can't get your deposit back. It's a booking fee. A booking fee is to secure my time for that slot. So if you don't pay me my entire money, I'm keeping your booking fee because you booked that time. I'm doing something else for the day. It's just one of those things. But you need to properly explain this to your client. So the way I normally do this is I take my client out for a coffee. And while we're busy discussing their specific needs and all that type of things as well, I will also talk to them specifically in regards to payment. I will say, okay, so all this stuff sounds good. This is how my payment terms work. I can either do a booking fee with paying the rest before the session, or you can pay everything at a once off. We can talk about it and just see what fits better into your budget or your price range. So then we would normally talk, blah, 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 and they would say, hey, you know what, I'll pay the booking fee, and then in a week's time I'll pay the rest. I go, it's cool, no problem at all. I get them their contract or the thing that we agreed on, and they pay the booking fee. A week goes by, they don't pay. Does that mean I harass them or stay quiet? No. That means I just send them a reminder or ask them, hey, thank you for paying your booking fee. I'm just following up in regards to how your arrangements are going, how your things are going, how your planning is going for that specific day. Please let me know if there's anything gets stuck, or if you need anything to be explained to you more clearly, specifically from the photography point of view, stuff like that, and I'll leave it. I'll wait a couple more days and see if they pay the additional money that they agreed on. If not, I'll just send them another reminder. I'll just send another friendly one that goes, hey, just following up with you. Thank you once again for booking with me. It's awesome for you allowing me the opportunity to capture your moments or your special moment for the day. I'm just following up specifically in regards to your outfits and your wardrobe. Everything sorted? Do you have hair and makeup sorted? And just ask them all the types of things, and then I just leave it again. Now what you'll notice is when I communicate with the client, I don't ask them straight out, hey, where's my money? No, that's rude. I like to be friendly, so I like to ask them other things. I just like to keep my name in their minds so they know I'm communicating with them. They can see I'm doing the effort. And then let's say it's been 4 or 5 times, it's coming like 2 or 3 days before the session. Then I will start to say, hey, thank you for booking. Awesome to hear everything's going well. Just a friendly reminder that your booking session is still open on my end. Would you like to move your booking session because things might happen? I don't know if you might be busy, or would you like to finalize your invoice and sort everything out beforehand? And then I'll leave it again. And on the day of the event, if they send me a message and say, where are you? I just go, sorry, according to our agreement, you didn't do your full payment before or the day of. I can't come to your session because I've got fees and things I need to pay, and I cannot cover those costs out of my own pocket. And then they normally pay. It's happened once where a wedding client has basically paid me an hour before the wedding. I was sitting at home drinking coffee. I wasn't ready at all, and I just checked my bank account. Nothing's in. Yep, sorry, dear client, I can't help you. Like within like a half an hour, they paid everything, and I went and did the wedding. It's important to remember that once you say that they need to pay everything up front, that you get the full payment up front. You do not go do the photos without getting full payment, because you will never get full payment. It's just the way that some clients are. Some of them will book you for a wedding, pay your booking fee, $10,000 or whatever. They still owe you $10,000. You come to the day and they say, you know what, I forgot to make payment, but we're running around, we're a bit busy, I can't make the full payment now, can I do it for you tomorrow morning? And that's normally when you go, damn, I'm going to lose all my money. Because yes, they will want you there and not pay you the money, but just stick to your guns. If they agreed to pay everything beforehand, they pay everything beforehand, or you don't do the job. Simple as that. And they can say, I'm going to tell all my friends about it, and you say, it's cool, you can do that. I don't mind. Just remember, slander is illegal, as well as remember that I did everything from my end to follow up with you promptly on time and everything as well. So yes, you're more than welcome to go do that. I will simply state my case and the public can see what goes on, because that's just the thing. Remember, clients can say all the stuff they want to say, but if they don't stick to your agreement, what the hell? So what are some really good ways to make sure your client actually does pay you? Well, number one is you should have a strong portfolio. Strong portfolio shows that you're somebody that is trustworthy and dependable and will allow clients to see your work and go, you know what, yeah, I will pay all the money up front. I've got no problems with that because I can see your portfolio. You've got a strong portfolio. Your vision, your view that you have and my goals align perfectly. Let's work together. So this is why it's so important that if you do have a Facebook page, which is your photography page, keep things on point, keep things on topic, make everything about photography and nothing else. Because you want that client that comes to your portfolio on Facebook to see your Facebook page and to know that you are a photographer and you are dependable and this is the quality that you can deliver them. So having a strong portfolio is a good way to get clients to always pay on time, because they will see the work you can deliver. They will not get cold feet or get second thoughts. That's very good as well. Another good way to do that is to have your contracts and booking fees in place, because that sets aside or sets everything up so that clients know what's expected of them and all that type of thing as well. This is why you communicate properly with them. It's just one of those things. Another way that you can make sure that they pay those booking fees is friends and family and previous clients. If all of your previous clients leave you awesome reviews on your page and your potential client that owes you money sees all of these reviews, they'll go, you know what, this looks like a good dude to work with. I feel comfortable paying the rest of the money. I don't need to go look for a different photographer because I'm happy with the one that I've booked. And they pay the rest of the money. But remember, don't try and strong arm them with legal threats and things like that for money that they owe you before a session, because that's just bad juju for your business. Because word travels, and if you handle situations like those with a very aggressive outlook, it might come back and bite you in the backside, because people talk. But if you handle situations like those with an open mind and an open wallet, then things tend to go a little bit better. As an example, if a client books me for a wedding and they don't pay the entire booking fee before the wedding day or on the day, but they have a really good reason why they do it or can't do it, then I will, out of my own, decide, do I still take the risk and do the work or not? Well, most times I take the risk and then I still get paid afterwards. It's one of those things. This is why I always go to meetings with my clients, so I can see how they are, what type of people they are, type of things. That gives me a good indication to, will they actually pay the money or not. It's just person to person basis, different, but I always handle every client with care and consideration for their own things. As an example, oh damn, our wedding car broke down, it's going to cost us like 50k to get the damn thing fixed. Can you maybe give us a extension on the payment due date by any chance? And I would tell the client, oh damn, you know, that's bad, because that's a lot of money. I can give you an extension as per contract. I am able to do that for you, but can you please just send me proof of damages to the vehicle so I can see the damages myself? So maybe I know of a mechanic that can help you for cheaper. Something like that. Then if they send a thing, I go, okay, you know what, yes, it's just one of those things, car trouble, it's fine. I will then help them by saying, yeah, sure, by all means, we can extend the deadline for payment by a week after the session. I'm more than happy to do that. But remember, if you don't pay in full after that week grace that I give you, I will unfortunately have to hand you over to my legal representative, who will then do all the rest of the stuff. So just be nice, open-minded, casual, friendly with your clients, and be understanding. Things happen, stuff happens. As I say, shit happens. It's one of those things. Be open-minded, communicate properly, and just see how you can accommodate these clients as well. So that's the way that I would go about making sure that people pay me. It's very important that we remember that people need to pay us. If you don't get paid, don't go do the work. It's useless to go do the work for no money. because it's just a waste of your time. We don't like to waste time. So hopefully this video was entertaining and or informative to you guys, and hopefully this helped one or two of you with at least some information. The entire idea of creating this video was a lot of people asking me these questions, so I thought, you know what, I just make a video that way I can just point them to this video in the future. But yes, if you do have any questions or concerns or things as such regarding the business side of photography, pricing wise, all type of things, you're more than welcome to reach out to me privately via either DM or my email address, which should be all over my places, or WhatsApp via my number as well, and then I can help you privately with your problems as well. Because I know not a lot of people like to talk about money, especially when it comes to problems that they might have or things as such. But remember, my door's always open to help you guys if you do get stuck. So keep that in mind. If you get stuck, if you really need help and you're a bit ashamed or a bit, you don't really want to talk publicly about it, just come to me privately. I will help you what I can, and we can just see how we can get everything sorted out for you as well. Advice I can give you plentiful. I do not mind giving advice. It's for free. It will always be for free. But yes, thank you everybody for joining. It was, as always, a pleasure having you with me. It is now almost 9:30. I want food. Plus, I think my phone did a lot of ping. 72 messages. I will get to that as soon as I'm done here. But anyway, thank you very much for joining me for this random little money business talky thingy. Remember, my door's always open should you have any financial questions or things as such. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a photographer / IT person. I can help you what I can, but if it comes to contracts and things like that, I can give you some advice as well. But remember, a lawyer will always be your go-to for contracts. Just keep it simple. Thanks, appreciate your time. My pleasure, Mr. Ruan. I suck with names. Awesome, thank you, Andrew. It's a pleasure helping as well. Great advice. Thank you, Mr. BIS Photography. It's always a pleasure to help and just get everything sorted out. And remember, last shout out to what the hell was that? Oh, somebody sent me a star. I got a star. So, just a last reminder. If you're this person and you do all of this work, all of this really awesome work that I cannot pronounce that, I'm sorry. If you're this person and you create work awesome like this, just focus on your marketing to get the good clients, because that's very important. You need to get your work out in front of the people that can pay you the money. Last bit of advice for the evening, work on your marketing. If you get stuck with marketing, I can send you some links where you can take some free marketing courses as well. Marketing is very awesome. I would normally pay somebody to do that for me because I'm lazy. But yes, this dude does awesome work and he should be banging out notes of money every single day for the type of work that he does. Just focus on your marketing. It's very important. So that was me for the evening. Hope you guys have a good one. I'm gonna go make coffee. Where's my coffee? I'm gonna go make coffee. But thank you very much for joining. Keep well, keep safe, and for the love of all that is holy, pay attention to your business. Don't make it run away with you. Just one of those things. Anyway, I'm off. I'm rambling, so I shall cut it short and cut it out. Catch you guys soon. Where's the button?